Sword Beach during all of this was designated between St Ivan's to the left and Oystrom to the right, and it was divided into 4 parts. There was Obo, then Peter, then Queen, and then Roger. They were the 4 parts of Sword Beach, but they only used Queen because all the others were designated too shallow, so it was all tightened up coming up to this beach, although it was a very, very successful landing. The Allied forces that were coming in were the 3rd Infantry Division, commanded by Major General Tom Rennie, and they were made up of the 8th Brigade, 9th Brigade, 185th Brigade, the 27th Armoured Brigade, and they were the ones with the DD tanks, Hobart's Funnies they were called. Willie's going to get to talk about that later on. The 1st Special Service Brigade, and they were off to the east near Oystrom, and they were commanded by Brigadier Lord Lovett. Now he was the one that came off the beach and was meeting up with everyone at Pegasus Beach. We'll talk about that in a second. And the 4th Special Service Brigade, and they were going the other direction to meet up with the Juno Beach. That became a problem later on. The German forces were the 716th German Infantry Division, composed of 29 companies armed with 500 machine guns, 50 mortars and 90 guns of various calibers. The landing itself was on a 2-kilometre stretch between Hermanville-sur-Mer and Coyerville-sur-Orne. The assault, hit me with that one again. The assault started at 3 o'clock in the morning, and this was the aerial attack that went into Pegasus Beach. Also followed by the naval bombardment of the German along this line. We've talked and seen about the Pegasus Beach, so I'm going to skip large quantities of this now. So at 07:25, the first units actually landed on the beaches here. They were with the amphibious Hobart's Funnies of the 13th and 18th Hussars, followed closely by the 8th Infantry Brigade and the Royal Engineers. The engineers set to work clearing the mines and obstacles under a steady hail of small arms and artillery fires from Pierre's Ridge just south of Hermanville. Resistance on the beach initially was fairly strong, with wrecked vehicles piling up and casualties mounting. However, most of the armoured vehicles successfully landed. The British were able to quickly secure the immediate area, and by 09:30 the engineers had cleared 7 of the 8 exits along the beach, allowing the inland advance to begin. British Defence Commandos encountered tougher resistance in the seaside town of Oystrom. That's where the Special Services went through. And by 1 o'clock, the 1st Special Service Brigade had reached the bridges on the River Orne and Cairn Canal, linking up with the Pegasus assault which had gone in earlier. On the western flank, the commandos of the 4th Special Service Brigade moved out to secure a connection to the Canadian forces at Juno Beach, but encountered strong resistance and were pinned down by heavy fire for several hours. Congestion as more men and vehicles arrived on the beach complicated matters. It was gradually becoming apparent that the British forces would not be able to make the hook-up with the 3rd Canadian Infantry Division necessary to protect its right flank. Sorry now, lost the place. Thanks, Bucky.
Well, we've only got 14 pages to go.
Thanks, you're down. Right. The German forces, the 21st Panzer Division, with its formidable infantry of 129 Mark IV tanks, was intended to be used as a rapid response force on the morning of the 6th. However, its commander was in Paris and General Rommel was in Germany. So it took them till 4 o'clock to get the tanks, mechanised infantry, to start the counter-attack. The 189th Panzer Grenadier Regiment actually reached the beaches at 2000 hours, but the Division 98 Panzers were halted by anti-tank weapons, airstrikes and Allied tanks themselves, so the counter-attack was stopped. When 250 gliders of the 6th Air Landing Brigade overflew the positions on their way to reinforce the Orne bridgehead, the Germans, believing that they were about to be cut off, retired. So, by the end of the day, 28,845 men landed on Sword Beach, with the losses of only 683 men. Relatively impressive. Now, I did some research. From what I could find out, there was 50 Irishmen that they counted were involved in D-Day. On Sword Beach, they had a Captain Redmond Cunningham from Waterford, who won a military cross for his gallantry during the D-Day assault, having come under withering German fire on Sword Beach. Also on the same beach was a 19-year-old Sean Deegan from Dublin, who joined the British Army after he was told he was too young and skinny to be accepted in the Irish Army. Also had a Sergeant Paddy Gillen from Galway. He was a commander who came ashore at Sword Beach, along with comrades, dug in and held vital ground against German counterattacks in the area for 42 days, allowing Allied reinforcements and equipment to stream inland.